Welcome to the exam room. At the risk of sounding super cliche, for just about every single MTV Cribs there ever were, this is where the magic happens. In our office, our exam is designed to be objective. And what that means is that I can't change findings, you can't change findings, they just are what they are. They're data that allows us to look at you in a way that is very much matter of fact. We have a 4-part exam system. Number 1 is something called heart rate variability. This is more of a baseline for us than anything. What this looks for is how much stress is getting put onto your nervous system via spinal issues. The second piece of technology that we utilize is something called rolling thermal. And rolling thermal is an infrared heat scanner that runs from the base of your spine to the back of your neck, looking for differences in temperature left to right. So when the spine isn't moving properly, when the mechanics aren't quite there, when there is an injury, inflammation is going to build up. We are going to see an increase of temperature one side versus the other. And that is what this guy here lets us find. Next is something called segmental EMG. Ready for this? EMG stands for electromyography. It makes me sound really smart when I say it, but the basics behind it is we use a microcurrent of electricity and bounce it off of the muscle tissue. This allows me to quantify or put a number to your muscle tone. If you came into my office and I said, well, your neck or lower back or whatever seems tight, you would look at me and go, thank you. That's what I came in for. I'm aware. What this allows me to do is say the muscles of C7 or your bottom cervical vertebra are 130% of what they should be, or they're 70%. Anytime I can quantify, that lets me do two things. Number 1, it allows me to get a baseline of this is where you are. And number 2, it allows us to monitor progress over time. That's why the scanning system is so darn important. The last thing that we do is we take X-rays. And the X-rays are kind of our cheat code. They let us look for things that could potentially be bigger problems than what we're looking for, but they also let us know what the position is. They show us the potential for arthritis and degeneration and things that can make care not work as well as they should. And they also show us if there's anything called a congenital anomaly, which means something that you were born with that might make it more difficult for us to get results with you. And once we put all 4 of those things together, we get a very good, very clear picture of what we're dealing with and what we need to work on to correct. And also it gives us a baseline so we can monitor our progress.